Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so today we are diving into this completely bizarre and honestly absolutely hilarious chronological case study of a morning routine that just goes completely off the rails. We're looking at a fascinating breakdown of what actually happens when the mundane everyday items we rely on suddenly decide, that they have a mind of their own. If you've ever thought your daily schedule was chaotic, oh man, you are going to absolutely love examining the timeline of Arjun and his rebellious school bag.
I mean, think about it. Have you ever just wished you could completely skip school or work or just bypass literally all of your responsibilities for the day? We've all been there, right? Staring at the ceiling, absolutely dreading the morning bell or that early alarm. It's a completely universal feeling. But what if that decision was taken entirely out of your hands? What if the very vessel designed to carry your responsibilities, your own backpack, made the executive decision to stage a coup? That's exactly the premise of our case study today. And analyzing how it unfolds is just a wild ride.
All right, let's kick things off with part one, a very loud zipper.
So, the story starts on a perfectly normal morning. Our main guy, Arjun, is just going through the standard operational procedure of packing his bag. He's loading up his books, his lunchbox, and his homework, which, actually, the data notes is only about half done, which is a very relatable detail for sure. Everything seems entirely ordinary. There are literally zero indicators of the anomaly that's about to occur. But just as Arjun goes to close it, he is hit with this hyper-aggressive audio cue. Hey, watch the zip, dude. Imagine the sheer shock of that moment. Arjun completely freezes. Because this isn't some subtle shift in reality, it's a jarring, high-decibel disruption. This inanimate object is not just speaking, it's actively complaining about his zipper technique.
And it doesn't stop there. The bag doesn't just confirm its sentience, it goes straight on the offensive. It says, yes, I talk, and also, why do you carry so many boring books? The bag establishes this immediate, highly hostile personality. This is not some friendly, magical sidekick, okay? It is a highly critical entity that is apparently deeply offended by Arjun's curriculum. It's literally judging his study materials. This brilliantly sets the tone for the massive power struggle that's about to ensue.
Which brings us to part two, the sentient school supplies. Because as we can see here, it turns out the bag itself was really just the outer shell of a deeply chaotic micro-ecosystem. We've got a pencil that is actively engaged in martial arts, literally doing karate inside the pocket. Then there's the eraser, which is apparently suffering from a severe existential crisis, just yelling, "I fix mistakes, not your life." I mean, the psychological boundary setting from that eraser is honestly incredible. And finally, the lunchbox, which has taken on the role of this slightly ominous prophet, whispering, "Eat me before math class. Trust me." And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of the anomaly. Arjun hasn't just lost control of his bag. His entire academic toolkit has gained sentience, and frankly, they all seem highly stressed out.
Okay, moving right along to part three, an unscheduled field trip. So this is the exact moment the backpack goes from merely being vocal to staging a full-on hostile takeover of Arjun's day. Arjun tries to apply some logic, stating he must be dreaming. But the bag is having absolutely none of it, making a unilateral executive decision. Nope, and today, we're skipping school. Before Arjun can even formulate an argument against this clear violation of the educational code, the bag initiates a physical override. In a massive breach of the laws of physics, the bag sprouts these giant arms, physically grabs Arjun, and practically forces him out the door. The hostage situation has officially begun.
Let's rapidly track this escape sequence. At minute 1, they are aggressively escaping the house, zooming through the streets, bouncing over cars, and traumatizing the local wildlife. Specifically, this highly confused dog who literally barks the question, "What even is that?" By minute 15, the environment itself seems infected by the anomaly as they arrive at a park where the swings are swinging entirely by themselves. And by minute 30, they've reached an ice cream shop where the chaos somehow continues to escalate. At this shop, the ice cream flavors are actively engaged in verbal combat. Like chocolate screams, "I'm the best," and mango fires right back, "No, I am." The combative voices of the food items perfectly mirror the aggressive nature of the backpack itself. The entire world, it seems, has become animated, highly opinionated, and incredibly argumentative, which really builds up this fantastic comedic tension. Which naturally leads us into part 4, the homework crisis. Suddenly, this whole high-speed joyride comes to a complete screeching halt, and reality, well, a version of it anyway, comes crashing back in. We now have to analyze the realization of a catastrophic operational failure on the part of our rogue backpack. The bag literally stops and emits, I think I left your homework at home. Now, think about the supreme irony here. The backpack, a tool whose singular fundamental purpose is to transport educational materials from point A to point B, has literally forgotten the one thing it was designed to carry. Arjun rightfully points out that this was the entire reason he packed the bag in the first place. And the bag's response to this massive failure in its core competency, it just shrugs. Unbelievable. So what's the bag's brilliant proposed emergency protocol? Go back in time. Obviously. Arjun asks the very logical question of whether a bag can even do that. The bag's response? No idea, let's try. This is a completely chaotic, wholly untested plan. It is going to attempt to reverse its logistical mistakes through sheer centrifugal force and blind optimism. And the execution of this plan is honestly just as frantic as you'd expect. Step 1, spin in circles. Step 2, spin faster and faster. They're literally trying to create a temporal vortex by twirling. The momentum is building, the dizziness is setting in, they are pushing the very limits of this totally absurd reality, until finally, step 3, boom, a massive explosion of energy. And that brings us to our final section, part 5, a not-so-normal reality. So the dust settles, the energy completely drops. Arjun wakes up. He's safe and sound, back in his own bed. The room is totally quiet, and that bizarre timeline we just mapped out seems to have completely evaporated. There are no giant arms, there's no argumentative ice cream, there are definitely no pencils doing martial arts in his pockets. Was it all just a dream? Arjun lets out this massive sigh of relief. He assumes, as anyone naturally would, that his subconscious just manifested his anxiety about his half-finished homework into this surreal, high-speed hallucination. The ordinary world has seemingly been safely restored. The tension is completely dissolved. But then, we get this absolute punch of a final twist. From the dark corner of the room, the seemingly normal backpack just whispers, "You still forgot your homework." Boom. It's the ultimate cliffhanger. Was it real? Was it a dream that the bag is somehow magically aware of? Either way, it leaves us with this super provocative thought. No matter how wild your escapades are, and no matter how sentient your luggage actually becomes, can you ever truly escape your real-life responsibilities? So what do you think? If your bag could talk, what's the very first thing it would yell at you about?